Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far, and if you are new, welcome to my channel. I'd love to have you stick around. So today we're going to be talking about brands that keep me off, and not just me, I'm sure it's you as well. I'm sure it's many people. They just seem to love grinding our gears, annoying us, getting on our wicks, winding us up. All of the above. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get it off our chest today. We're going to have a good old rant, because who doesn't love one of those? Me, I do. So first up, Pat McGrath. Now I love Pat McGrath. I love her. I love her makeup. I don't think that I've ever bought something from Pat McGrath. Let me think about it. Her loose powder I wasn't blown away by, but I liked it. Everything else, obsessed, love it, new holy grail. Everything, I love her foundation. Obviously, I love her eyeshadow palettes. I love her mascara. I love her lipsticks. What else is there? Her new concealer, love it, got it on today. Big fan of Pat. And actually, I personally have not had any issues as far as ordering things. Give or take. Divine Rose, don't get me wrong, it was tricky. I actually ordered that from Selfridges in the end, and it was during the second release, not the first. I didn't even know it happened during the first release, but I didn't really take it personally. I was just like, oh cool, she's done this, you know, super limited release, and that's fine. And obviously I was able to get my hands on it, so I felt okay about it. Obviously the people who desperately tried each time and were signing up for, you know, information every single time and still didn't manage to get it, obviously those people are going to feel a bit differently. So what's Pat done wrong other than Divine Rose? So, you know, they're messing around with launches, like is it going to come back, is it limited edition? When it gets released, it's like sold out in 36 seconds and then it's gone forever, and there's never any straightforward answers to questions about anything. Like if you try and ask her on social media or her Instagram handle, I wouldn't have thought it's really Pat, by the way, answering all of these questions, but the Pat McGrath Instagram is very unhelpful. If you ask them a question, they're very cloak and dagger, and I understand certain things they want to keep, you know, close to their chests, but I asked them the other week because almost all of their lipsticks are sold out on their website online, and now it's like, are they coming back? Because I'd rather order from Pat's website, get a few things, than order, say, from Net-a-Porter, which has very expensive delivery, etc. Selfridges I don't think had a lot of the lipsticks in either, so I was like, what's going on here? Are they discontinued? What's happening? So I reached out to her Instagram and I said, what's happening with the lipsticks? Are they coming back in stock soon? What's going on? And you'd think a brand would be able to answer you, oh, they'll be back in stock soon. Oh yeah, they're out of stock, coming soon. Something like that would have been helpful. Even a date would have been great. What I got was, stay tuned. What? Huh? Stay tuned for what? Like, that's not helpful to me. How does that help me as a consumer? Do I wait? Stay tuned for an announcement that they're discontinued. Stay tuned, they're coming. So what does that mean? And I feel like that's their standard answer to everything is, stay tuned guys. What does that mean though? I've had a lot of my subscribers tell me that they sign up for the releases, for the early access, for the VIP access that usually gives you a discount code, and then they never get the email. And then they see everybody saying I've bought it, they hurry over and it's sold out, and they never got the email. So that's pretty annoying. Another thing that's annoyed me about Pat McGrath's brand lately is that when they're doing the sneak peeks on their site, like the coming soon, here's all the information, but you can't buy it yet, they keep changing the prices. What's that about? They did a kit when the foundation was coming out that was like foundation and primer and powder, and it was really great deal, like way cheaper than buying them separately. And then when it actually launched, suddenly they changed the price by like 50 quid, and I was like, I've had reports of people saying that happened during the concealer as well. I didn't see any other price, I just saw the price that I paid, and that was the price that I saw throughout. But I've had other people tell me that when they were clicking on it, it was saying £30, and then on launch day it changed to 25, and then they put it in their basket and it went back to 30, and that is like not okay. what is the price, guys? Just tell us the price. So there's some problems, there's some issues going on at House Pat. I feel like she's working on it. I feel that the Golden Opulence palette went way smoother than the Star Wars and the Divine Rose launches. However, I think that's probably just because obviously Star Wars is like a huge thing. I imagine people were buying that palette who don't even wear makeup and will never wear makeup. Maybe grown men who are fans of Star Wars probably bought that palette. Maybe just to sell it on eBay, who knows. But they are collector's items, so I can understand that that would have just been a more popular product, so that's why it sold out like crazy fast. But I suspect that with Golden Opulence, she was like, we can't have this happen again. We need to have enough stock. We need it to go smoothly. Otherwise, you know, I'm going to be right in the mud, right up the creek without a paddle. And you know what creek I'm talking about. So yeah, I have high hopes. It seemed like the concealer launch went way better. The concealer and powder launch, everything seemed to go smoothly. I didn't see anyone saying it was sold out in 10 seconds. I didn't see anyone saying they weren't able to get it or that anything crazy was happening. Again, there were people saying they didn't get the emails. But as far as people just being able to purchase it, get their hands on it, I will say I ordered it on launch day, and what was that? 4 days ago now, and I haven't had a dispatch email yet. So it's not ideal. That's another issue they seem to be struggling with, that when they have these big launches, people aren't receiving their products for like 2 weeks, which is just agonizing. So there's some issues, there's some problems going on. I really want to see these issues ironed out, because I feel like for such a luxury brand, this kind of customer experience is everything. Like when you're paying £120 for an eyeshadow palette, you expect to have a different experience than if you pay £10 for one from Boots. Do you hear me? I expect to have it beautifully packaged. She does that. I expect phenomenal customer service. I have received that in the past when I had a broken palette from her, and their customer service was like, here's another one, keep that one, we're so sorry, it'll be with you tomorrow. Like literally, they were amazing. But I have heard mixed reports on other people's experiences of that. I expect free shipping, because I've already paid £120 for the palette, so I expect free shipping, and I expect it to be with me in like a few days, not 2 weeks. Yeah. I also expect it to be smooth and straightforward. I expect their website to work, you know, all those kinds of things that you expect, because that's what you should get. You should get more for your money, not the same or worse. You should get more for your money. So I'm really hoping we're going to see these issues ironed out this year from Pat, and we're going to start seeing the customer service and the customer experience match up to the products, because that will really take a brand down if that is not the case. Next up, Too Faced. Too Faced. So many scandals, so much drama, so many just things going on with Too Faced that leave like a taste in the mouth, you know? For me, like drama aside, because I just have no interest in, it's just boring and annoying to me, but you know, you can't help but see it, so that in itself is annoying. But what annoys me more so is this constant releasing of products willy-nilly, but there's no consistency as to whether we can get them here in the UK or not. I don't know if that's just a UK thing. I don't know if other countries see this, but it was like months and months until we got that whole Do You collection. I desperately wanted the foundation, couldn't get it for months. Then they started stocking it just in their Covent Garden like shop, but not online. Excuse me? I think that, again, are they one of these brands that believes the whole of the UK is located in London? Because we aren't. Lots of us live really far away from London, and it's not convenient for us to just go there to buy a product, like put it online, for crying out loud. There's no consistency as far as being able to get products. They'll release some, we get a lot of their products here in the UK, but not all of them. Some are released only there, some are only in America, some we can get here in their London shop but not online. That I find very, very annoying. I just want us to be treated equally in the UK. Like, we wear makeup too, you know, stop keeping stuff from us. We want it. Next up, MAC. MAC is starting to a little bit get on my nerves now. Like, used to be a hardcore MAC girl when I was, you know, in my 20s. and in my teens. They were kind of the first like proper makeup brand that I started to pick bits up from. And I still love, I'm a big fan of their lipsticks, still have 500 MAC lipsticks upstairs, still love a lot of their like limited collections, but it's getting a bit much now. I feel like they release 48 limited collections that hang around forever because no one's really that interested in purchasing 26 different limited editions from MAC every year. A lot of them, they bring out these random weird products that they call highlighters but are just matte powders, or they call powders that turn out to be glitter dust. They keep putting overlays on, like glitter oversprays on things that are nothing to do with the product that's underneath. So we go in, we swatch it, we're like, oh, that's a lovely highlighter. By the time we get home, it's turned into a blush or a bronzer. And why are we doing oversprays in 2020? We don't like it. It's one thing if it's like, you know, you just sprayed a light glitter spray to make the compact look pretty and you can just dust it off. But it's another if the overspray is presenting the product as a completely different thing to what it is. And that seems to be becoming a trend with MAC, that they're making products look like highlighters or glowy products, and they're calling them highlighters when they actually are not luminous, glowy, glittery, shiny at all. They're matte products and they're calling them highlight powders. How confusing and misleading for your customers, MAC. What are you doing? The next thing they keep doing is discontinuing products that we love and replacing them with crap. They discontinued the Liptensity lipsticks that we all love, that are very, very popular. When I went in to my local MAC and said to one of the girls in there, I've heard they're discontinuing these, she was like, no, they won't discontinue these. They're like one of our best sellers. No, that can't be true. But it was true. They're gone now. And they've been replaced by the Powder Kiss lipsticks, which everybody hates with a vengeance, and these Love Me lipsticks, which are essentially the exact same as the lipsticks they already had. What was that about? They also seem to be doing an excessive number of collabs now, just coming out their ears. I want to get excited about collabs, you know. I want it to be someone who is mega representative of everything good in the world, bringing out a lipstick that represents everything about them. I don't want a different one every single week. I can't keep up, and sometimes I don't know who the people are or where they come from or what they stand for, or they don't even wear makeup, but we're just going to make a whole MAC collab because why wouldn't we? Kind of defeats the purpose, no? Next up, ABH, Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now, I'm again a big fan of ABH, one of my ultimate favourite brands, much like Pat McGrath, but they continue to make me angry inside. In my makeup loving heart, they keep just sticking the knife in. First of all, with their ridiculously priced foundation in the UK. Everywhere else, in America, it's the normal price you would expect for a foundation from ABH. Here in the UK, it's more expensive than Armani Luminous Silk. Something's wrong there. And please don't try to tell me it's because of tax or duties or shipping, because it isn't. It's the only product from the ABH brand that is priced in that price point, in that price range. The rest of ABH products are priced according to where they sit in the market. The rest of the ABH brand is priced alongside the likes of MAC, Too Faced, Fenty, Huda. That's where their price point sits. Their foundation is priced alongside, or in fact above, Armani, above Dior, above YSL, above really expensive designer brands. So that isn't the reason, is not tax. And even if it was the reason, they've calculated it wrong, because I've done the calculations and it should not ever be as much as it is, and I don't understand it. I feel like lots of brands throw a number out and they're like, oh yeah, let's charge that much, and we're like, no, that's not what it's worth here. I don't know if you've worked out the exchange rate quite correctly there, ABH. I think you need to adjust it. And I wouldn't have minded if they had listened, because I've seen numerous people, including myself, tell them you've got this price wrong. and they won't do anything about it, and I feel like it needs to be lowered. They are also guilty of annoying us with too many releases, and I know people will say, you know, you don't have to buy them, right? You don't have to buy them. That's just, let me just tell you, if no one's told you that, you don't have to buy every single release, all of the Norvina palettes, all of the ABH palettes, all of the ABH collabs, because who's got time to buy them all? I haven't. I've got a job to do, I've got a life to, I've got children, I haven't got time to be a full-time ABH purchaser. You know, no one's paying me for that. So it's very hard to keep up, but it also just makes it get a bit boring and get a bit like, oh God, another, okay. Is that not the one that came out a week ago? No, it's a new one. Right. It's just, it takes away from the magic. And believe me, I get hyped when I see a new ABH palette coming out. I am excited, I'm ready, I'm like planning, like, when is the day gonna be here? I get excited, and it's really tainting that for me. As well as the collabs, I feel like it's so unfair that they aren't giving the people they're collabing with, you know, the time to shine. You know, the ABH, the Carly Bible palettes, then the Amrazy palettes, they were all released just one after the other, and none of them got their time to like shine and just be the palette of the moment before another one came out, and it just took away from that person's moment. That's how I felt. So I feel like that was a real shame. And then there's the constant PR searches. Oh. So if you're not familiar with this happens a lot on Twitter, where Norvina will say, oh, like, I'm going to do a PR search. So this is a search to find people to add to the Anastasia Beverly Hills PR list, which I kind of feel like they should be doing that. You know, that should be them. They should be looking for people. They should be watching YouTube. They should be on Instagram and deciding who fits our brand, who do we want, you know, who uses our brand, who supports our brand, who's a big fan that we can support their channel as they support our brand. They, you know, be good for our brand. They use the products. They'd make the kind of content we want and love to see. They'd appeal to our audience. Instead, they ask for people to like bombard us all on Twitter, and all you see for days on end is a million PR search tweets aimed at this PR search, and it's just never ending, and it's like fills up your entire feed, and you never hear anything about it. And then a month or so after that happened, they took everybody, or a lot of people, back off the list and said, oh, basically you weren't going to be on the list forever, we just put you on as a stunt essentially, and now we're taking you off. And I understand, I don't think people have a right to like kick off about that, because if you got anything free, to be honest, you should be extremely grateful. But they said they had over 1,000 people on the list at one point, and clearly that's not sustainable. But I can also understand if you're an artist and you achieved that goal that you've been, you know, grafting for, and you were so excited, and then only a few weeks later you were taken off it, you know, with no notice. I can understand that hurting. I can understand that's a bit of a knife to the heart. But essentially we were like, right, so we really went through all those weeks of annoyance for like literally nothing then, because they've been almost taken straight off, and now we're going to do it again. Oh, it's exhausting. We also had that issue with the old MLM. I don't know if you heard about that. If you don't know what an MLM is, it's a multi-level management. Is that what it is? Multi-level marketing ploy. So it's something like Unique, something like, is Avon one? I guess so. It's these like brands where they have like, it's like a sort of pyramid scheme disguised as a store, or like, you know what I mean. You know what it is, don't you? I'm not explaining it very well at all, but people really hate them. People get very angry about them. I don't know a huge amount about them. I'm not a fan of being constantly bombarded with them at all. And I totally hear what people are saying. Basically, the people at the top are the only people who make any money, and everybody underneath it will work their whole life and really make nothing. So that's like kind of one of the negative aspects of it that I understand and have seen. So apparently ABH were doing like a partnership with an MLM, and then they claimed to not know what one was. And then they tried to pull it, but it was too late. The stuff had already gone out. It was a very weird situation, and I think probably the truth is that they knew what they were doing. They just maybe didn't know how unpopular and what the backlash would be from partnering with one, and that's why they tried to pull it. Obviously it was too late, so that's, you know, a bummer for them. But yeah, I find it hard to believe that anyone doesn't know what that is, and even if they didn't know what it was, that they wouldn't have researched in some way what the company was before agreeing to partner with them. So that's disappointing. And lastly but not leastly, Natasha Denona, again, one of my favourite brands. I love her. I love the brand. I love, again, pretty much everything I've tried from them, not the concealer, but everything else. I love them. Things that annoy me about Natasha Denona: Sephora exclusives. Please somebody tell Natasha that not every country has a Sephora. So when you keep giving them exclusives, international exclusive on products, that means we can't get them in the UK unless we pay 3 or 4 times the amount to get it shipped here and pay taxes and duties on top. Or we get it from one of these shops that imports and we basically have to pay the same thing for them to do all of that stuff. It's not fair. I don't think Sephora should get exclusive international rights to countries where they aren't. And in countries where they don't ship to. Doesn't make any sense. I also don't enjoy Natasha's classification of what limited edition is. I find it confusing. So the Love palette was supposed to be limited edition. We don't know, that will most likely, I guess, disappear. You know, it was released around Valentine's Day. I kind of believe that that probably was just a standard limited edition. But talk to me about the Metropolis palette, because wasn't that meant to be limited edition? Hasn't that been out like a year now? So my concern with that one is, if it's not really limited edition, did we just call it limited edition to make everybody buy it really, really quickly? Not sure. She also really angers everybody by constantly changing her formulas, and we don't know why, and she never says she's changed it, but people who are super familiar with her eyeshadow formulas, they know them inside out, they've got every palette she's ever released, will know that she's changed it, and she's never admitted she's changed it or talked about changing it or like explained why she's changed it, and it doesn't ever seem that she's changed it for the better, because people generally use it and are like, this is not it, this is not the formula I'm used to. So that doesn't make any sense to me at all. So there you have it. Those are my top 5 criminal makeup brands currently driving me nuts, off the wall, winding me up. I'd love to know what brands are winding you up, what brands are doing what that really grinds your gears. Please let me know in the comments down below who you have been ranting and raving about recently. I would love to know. I hope you enjoyed this video and getting these things off our chest. You know, sharing is caring. A problem halved, what? Problem shared is a problem halved. I love to see you in the next video. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.